Oh, look at that. You really did rebuild all our scenes.
I had to rebuild a lot of stuff. I found some of the things. We could probably reuse some of the stuff starting next week, but I don't have time this week. But there's like space over next to you. And if someone wants to super chat, I think it will work. I think the super chat should pop up on screen. Let's see. Someone just super. There we go. Soxo Roxo. The whole thing's not showing up, but most of it is. Okay,
this is maybe just better, so that's all right.
Okay, cool.
I could give you. I have all the stuff if you wanted to.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Give you that stuff.
Very vertical.
Yes.
Hi, Sean.
We're going vertical,
Hello.
baby. Let's fucking go. Fuck yeah. Vertical time.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? It's stretching out Horus here, and I kind of like that, but I'm gonna undo this. Control Z. All right, there we go.
Horus?
Stretchy horse.
Yeah, that's the name of the horse from what everybody's 1-2 switch. Is Horus?
That's the name. That's the name of the horse from
Fuck
the
yeah.
Mickey cartoons. Horse collar.
Listen, no one ever said Nintendo hasn't stolen everything that it's ever had.
Fair.
All right, let's see. Add up a little bit here. Okay, that looks good. This is good.
I think we're ready.
I'm mostly ready. Let me select stream there. That looks good. I can actually get chat now in OBS. That's different. It used to work. Now it's working again. Okay. Well, let me close Photoshop so that it won't get mad, or it won't just take up every resource on the computer.
You did this podcast rundown. Show my job.
I did a lot of it. Yeah.
I was going to do it.
That's
God
all right.
damn it.
That's all right. We got this and that. All right. Let me just yell at these kids one more time.
You're yelling. Yo, get the hell down over there. Keep it quiet.
Mama's still not home. Mama's flight got canceled again. They're getting kind of bummed, so they're gonna hang out with me.
Okay.
Put in a video game in the background.
Yeah,
That'll do it.
They're playing Minecraft. It's all good. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Let me apologies for kind of having a few hiccups here. Again, OBS was a real pain in the ass. Let me turn off the music.
You are forgiven, my son.
Make this like this. Would that be good? It's kind of annoying, but whatever. I could just pop this out. All right, I gotta turn down this Xbox. Give me a second.
I like
Did
your
you have the-
achievements.
Didn't you have the Kinect going on? Just yell. Xbox off.
When's the last time you think anyone actually had Kinect plugged in?
Oh, it probably.
I think about it every once in a while. Does that count?
The 1X. Somebody got a 1X and they still
It's
had
been
the
it's
Kinect
been a while,
on.
right? Like
Yeah.
you could still have a 1X plugged in, but I kind of doubt it.
Do you
Yes, hear
have?
that?
Can you have like a?
Yes.
We heard it.
We hear that. Can you have the new Xbox the Series N plug in the?
If
the
you
Kinect
bought
and that
an
doesn't work?
adapter, if you got an adapter from them.
They lost 90% of the user base right there.
Exactly.
They needed an adapter.
I am ready. I'm gonna start the show.
Oh shit.
All right, here we go. Mike, you're good.
Alright.
I'm good.
Actually, test. Why is
Test,
that
Test my
audio
naughty
low?
test.
All right.
How's our yummy audio listener? Oh, Penny, that's just my glasses making a noise touching the desk. Don't bark.
Something else turned down my volume. I guess I used Audacity. It might do that sometimes. All right. I'm good now. Let's skip that ad. All right. I'm counting us in, getting us started. We're going in.
Let's go.
5, 4, 3. It's the internet. You're busy. Let's do this. Welcome to the Game Mess Decides podcast. This is the podcast where we decide everything happening in the world of video games so you never have to think for yourself. I'm your host, Jeff Grubb, and with me is...
Mike Minotti.
In today's episode, Marathon got delayed. Metroid Prime 4 is out soon, and Mount Rushmore of rude gaming dudes with Tudes. That's a good one. Well done. I was busy.
I didn't even know. I didn't do that.
Me
Who
neither.
did that?
I think we talked about this a few weeks ago, and now Christian remembered. Christian, was that you?
Yeah, it was there, and I was just like, let's do this because
Thank
we don't
you.
have other topics.
Yeah,
We did not have. I was about to ask. Did we come up with a topic
we did.
today?
Like it was a rough. Let's say it was a rough day. Jan's out, and I'm glad he was out. I just had to figure out a bunch of stuff, like how to upload stuff to Giant Bomb. Couldn't even get all that working because like the game mess worked. Voicemail dump truck up to the premium feed broke. And it's like I kind of like pieced that together a little bit, but then he just took it over. But I got everything else uploaded. And then I immediately was like, oh, shit. I reset my OBS. I deleted all my profiles, all of my my scene collections. So I had to redo tonight's show, and I couldn't find all the assets. And I'm like, yeah, it's time to kind of maybe refresh those things anyhow. So kind of piece some stuff together. So the show looks different. That's what that was. But yeah, I've been kind of in this chair nonstop since Game Mess mornings. Also had a long lawyer call in between all that. So yeah, it was a hell of a day. So I did not have time to think of a thing. So Christian, thank you for remembering that. But mostly, Mike, how are you doing?
Yeah, I feel kind of guilty because this was like I had some very busy days this week, but today on the Games Beat side, it was a holiday day for us. So I like slept. Well, I did sleep in because I got up early and went to a garage sale and bought some old video games there. But then I like took a nap. I did voicemail dump truck. I streamed Sekiro a bunch, which was a bunch of fun. So like today was a little bit of my taking it a little bit easier.
No reason to feel guilty. Yeah, you had those busy days, and a lot of this stuff was just stuff there was no way to help with. Oh wait, what's that?
That's what this is. Donkey Kong 64. I did get a copy of this at the garage sale. Which, by the way, as great as the yellow cartridge is, like the weird, just lifeless render of Donkey Kong on the cover of this game has always been a little weird to me.
That's Silicon Graphics, baby. That's what you do.
That's what you get. I am kind of hankering to play. I'm very excited for Bonanza, man. That direct was so much more. Like, I was excited for that game I was sold in. They had more interesting things to show there than I was expecting. I can't wait for that.
Yeah. Is this not showing up now? Now I'm getting frustrated because I just set that up, the stream element. Oh, there it goes. There it popped in. Okay, fantastic. All right, then. Yeah, Mike, I'm glad that you got a chance to go do that. Donkey Kong 64, have you played that yet? Or that's still like a threat if we reach that internal goal?
It's a threat. It's a threat. We got a couple things we have to decide if we're gonna do. If like some of us are gonna actually go to Minneapolis for summer games done quick.
I'm thumbs up to that. Like I'm saying, like you and I should start planning that. If we want to do it on the cheap, I don't mind driving us there and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of things we can do.
We'll figure it out. But then we also have to start thinking about PAX West. Believe it or not, if we're gonna do that or not. I will say, and if we decide that we've been very busy and maybe we need to take one of these offs, I don't think it's, a travesty. It'll be fun to go, though. We'll see what people feel.
I mean, like, I feel like there's a chance we still could get another last-minute invite to Gamescom. And that one, it's like, okay, thank you, but maybe not this year. We're just a bit busy.
I'll tell you what. I'm not going to Gamescom. Yeah. Like, I'll say that right now. I'm not going to Gamescom.
I might be right there with you, staying at home. Yeah. All right, let me get my doc back up here and remember what I say. Yes, thank you, everybody, for joining us. You can give us a good rating wherever you are listening and hit that like button on YouTube. It helps people find the show. If you want to ask a question, you could drop a super chat during the show here on YouTube. We'll get to all of those before the end of the program. And they also now pop up on the screen, at least this week. We'll see how that goes. Thanks to Carlos Ayin, who is Insane in the Rain Music on YouTube for the use of our theme songs. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever pods are caught. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to Christian for producing, and you can get more from Mike and me. And support us by going to patreon.com/GameMess. That gets you access to our Discord server, participation in Q&A sessions, and our game club discussions, early access to new episodes of shows like Columbros, and of course, all of our shows ad-free. I have, over this last week, also been thinking about other ways, like I mentioned, like probably about a month ago, as we were getting ready for SGF. Other ways of like doing new stuff on here. I got some ideas. I think I might actually go ahead and make Mikey and Air a regular show. I might start coming up with stuff. I had fun doing that. Those would be like fun, quick ones. And we kind of always like, maybe like escalate. Like if you do win one, like the next week could be for more and be even harder and stuff like that. I like that idea. Friendly reminder. You can also become a supporter by becoming a YouTube member or a Twitch subscriber. Basically gets you all the same benefits, hit that join here button here on YouTube. Go to twitch.tv/Tokoto when Mike is streaming. Go to twitch.tv/Christian_RARG when he is streaming, or Jeff Grubb, and that gets you all the same benefits. Excuse me. All right. Man, I'm ready for this cough to be gone, but it's just lingering. I got some big topics, Mike. You ready to talk about them?
Metroid Prime 4.
We can start there. Metroid Prime 4 add-on London Underground claims the game is out now. I saw this. I knew you were streaming, and I immediately rushed into your chat to be like, Mike, just tell me what's going on. And we still don't know what's going on.
No, look, I'll tell you what I don't think is happening is I don't think the game is out. I don't think Metroid Prime 4 is out or out today or something like that.
I think your hunch on that could be correct. I've looked around. I haven't seen it anywhere. London Underground in the Tube, there's a wall of actually Switch 2 ads. It's not just Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. There are a bunch of Switch 2 ads, including for the system itself and other games. And those ads say out now as well. The possibility here is that, I think maybe the simplest answer, Mike, is this is a mistake. This is another round of ads that's supposed to go up later. Or maybe there was some mixed messaging of, hey, all these Nintendo games are coming, and I don't know, what do they have? I don't know, it's Mario and Metroid and all this stuff. That's coming. I just say that's out now too as well. It could be that simple. The other possibility...
Maybe the console is out now.
Yeah, the console's out now, for sure. The other possibility here is, this thing's out very soon, and this ad was supposed to be waiting in the wings for that moment. But I'm afraid of getting my hopes up. How are you feeling about that?
It's really weird, because this same out now kind of it's not a literal sticker, but that graphic is on the Mario Kart World billboard, right? It's the same kind of thing there. But then the Donkey Kong Bonanza billboard just has that date, July 17th. It's so weird. And I think there's even I think the out now sticker on the Metroid Prime 4 one is even different than the Mario Kart one, because I think it has some text under it that I assume is saying also available on Switch 1. I can't tell. I can't see it.
So VGC has a better a picture if you're not looking there.
That's what I'm looking at, because on the Metroid Prime 4 one, there's just a little bit on the bottom right jutting out extra, while the Mario Kart World one looks like it doesn't have that. That might be me reading too much into it. But it has to be an error of some kind, whether it's a printing error, we put this up too early error, we got confused about, where this out now thing goes. But now my question is, well, how is it still up? Are phone calls happening now? Hey, get that down. That game's not out yet. So I keep looking for updates to see what's going on here. I mean, I know, it's in the US it's a holiday. It's not in Europe. So why is Nintendo of Europe not doing something?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
I don't. I mean, who knows? What? Because there's got to be several layers, right? Of Nintendo figuring out about this, talking to their marketing agency, which then talks to the people on the ground who control the ads on the tube. So I could see there being some lag there, but you're right. This feels like the kind of thing where it would be a red alert fire. Hey, go put this out. Go deal with this right now. But back to getting my hopes up. Do we think that this thing gets announced in the next couple of weeks and just is out soon after that? Okay, You know what? Let's talk about your thing. Do you think this is going to be another Shadow drop?
I don't think it's God. Right. I mean, they did it with Metroid before. They could. And I'm looking at another angle here. There's no extra text under the out now. Some people think that maybe it's just plastered over where a release date could go.
Oh, I see what they're saying. Release. So there's the around the now part, there's this other box that seems to be hovering in the background of the backdrop for out now.
Yeah, that's what I was confused
It kind of juts off to the left of that, suggesting there's something behind there maybe. I don't know. To me, that just looked like a design choice. I don't know.
But it's weird because the Mario Kart one doesn't have that other aspect. It's just the out now without that little extra jutting out stuff.
Yeah.
Which is weird. It's weird. Look, this game could be Shadow Drop. Here's my thing, though. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond's really coming out in between the launch of the system and Donkey Kong Bonanza. That seems wild to me. Why wasn't it just a release game at that point? It's kind of been, from the very beginning, I said Metroid Prime 4 should be the other release game because you have Mario Kart World, but it'd be nice to have another kind of really hard gamers game kind of thing. And I think a lot of people, and does it matter for sales and whatnot? Maybe not, but I think a lot of people are kind of like feeling that like I wish there was sort of one more big Nintendo game here. So like the idea that like you would hold it for just a few weeks after, it's just strange to me. But Nintendo is strange.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the other possibility here is, we have no idea how long it takes for the communication between Nintendo and marketing and these people that actually put up this stuff physically. Like, how long is that process? Is this something that is months in the making? And is there a time when Metroid Prime 4 Beyond was supposed to be out before the launch of the Switch 2? So the messaging this company got was, oh yeah, that's one of the games that will be out by the time the Switch 2 is out. And that changed. And someone never updated it or never got the memo, or there was a miscommunication or something. And this is just a leftover piece of that understanding. As I think about it, maybe that's kind of what I feel happened here, because I don't know. I had the sense that Metroid Prime 4 for Switch 1 was supposed to launch before the Switch 2, and maybe Nintendo changed their mind pretty late. And wouldn't surprise me if this is evidence of that.
Yeah, it could be, and that seems more plausible to me than, the fact that this game is super imminent and this is how we're finding out about it. Like, there's no way this is some deliberate guerrilla marketing tactic or something like that.
So there are other ads up on in the hallway. Mario Kart World does say out now. Donkey Kong Bonanza says the 17th of July. So, I mean, they have that date right. There's Mario Party. I can't see what the date says on that. I guess that's right next to Metroid, actually.
The thing is, there is weirdness about Metroid Prime 4, because why doesn't it have a date? Why is it just this year, and it still has been this year? That has not been clarified. Are we just waiting for the Nintendo app to tell us? When does the Nintendo Today app switch over? What is it going to say tomorrow? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you on that, where I think the next time we hear about Metroid from Nintendo, it will be in the Nintendo Today app. So yeah, people should keep their eyes open on that then. I think I have that installed. I can't remember the last time I opened it. It was probably the first week it came out, and I haven't looked at it since. Is
there any chance Nintendo's silence here is deafening, or is that, or of course Nintendo's not going to say anything? I
mean, when did this story go up? I mean, this was...
not that long ago. I mean, I was streaming a couple hours. We've been talking about this now.
I mean, VGC's got their local time up because they're, it's a UK-based organization. They put it up at midnight, 12:18 a.m. So for Nintendo of Europe and Nintendo UK, I think there's a UK-specific one. They're asleep, right? They're not in the office. They're not working.
I guess so.
So that might explain a lot of like the silence on that front. And like Nintendo of America or NCL are probably like have people on call, be like, hey, what's going on? But they also probably don't want to overstep the bounds of like, hey, Nintendo UK, what's going on? Can you find out what's going on so you can explain it, so you can have an answer? That probably won't happen until the morning for them, which is then another 8 hours, which is maybe when do we even hear anything, or does this just come down without it? Because they don't have to acknowledge this. This is going to be a thing that's very much in our circles. And then I guess maybe they could say something. I just don't know if they will.
Again, it's Nintendo. You almost expect them not to say anything. But it is an ad saying that a game is out that isn't out.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird. You can't have that.
I would prefer them just tell us what the hell's going on. But it's like that. Yeah, they'll probably, if they do say anything, it'll be that was a mistake. We'll have more to say soon, and then.
No, that's kind of what I want to hear. But like, yeah, it's the more they don't say something, it's a little bit of that. This game's coming out like right now. What's going on?
You're right.
I sure would like to play Metroid Prime 4. I sure would enjoy that.
You're right. And if we get through tomorrow and they don't say anything, you're right, Mike. I will begin speculating even more. So they probably, if this isn't a game that is coming out soon, if this is a game that is coming out this holiday, they probably should say something and clear
the air. Like, hey, that was a mistake. The game's not out now. That's all you got to say. So yeah. Well, we'll keep it up. Maybe there'll be live updates throughout the night here. We'll see.
I hope so. All right, Marathon was delayed. Surprised the Bungie devs a little bit. Apparently, there's some reporting on that. Paul Tassi said a lot of developers at Bungie found out when that went live. I've reported similar stuff before where it was like, hey, yeah, a lot of developers were surprised by that. And it was true when I said that, although they're like, no, they told people internally. It's like, yeah, they told some people internally. Yep. How do you think I found out about the leak? Of course, that's how. Yes.
Some people knew.
Yes, some people knew. And I'm sure the same was true here. And then I'm sure there were people who were surprised. And maybe there was a Slack message and they didn't see it. They're still surprised, right? People are taking this as evidence of the dysfunction at Bungie. And I got to say, it's kind of hard not to read it that way. But I think we kind of know that there is a lot of dysfunction at Bungie. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about Marathon? What happens next here?
Ugh, what does happen next? I mean, look, Marathon's going to come out. I don't think that's a game that's going to get canceled or something like that. They are going to release that thing. I mean, they said they're going to tell us this fall what the new release date looks like. I wonder if they're going to have another test at some point. Because if you don't win people over with that at least a little bit, like, boy, how do you feel going into that launch? But just, it feels bad for Bungie in general. Someone said to me that Bungie on the ropes is actually when they do some of their best work, right?
True.
Everyone got that Destiny 2 expansion that they really liked after some rough patches with that game. Destiny 1's launch was sort of a mess, and then it recovered with that first big expansion with the Taken King. So maybe, but, you know, that's not really proof of anything. It's that they've gotten kind of lucky before, but luck runs out. I have no idea what the future of Bungie is. It just doesn't feel great right now, though.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I also don't know how much I can care to pay attention to this game. Like, if I hear it's good one day, I'll perk up. At this point, I'm putting in that bucket of there are too many games. Another one for me to that I have to kind of force myself to understand and then maybe one day that is just the easiest thing for me to click off on and be like, that can go in the I don't need to pay attention to this bucket. And that's, unfair to people who put years of their lives into it, and even a company that's put, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars into it. But, it's my time and money. I only have so many seconds on this planet. So I'm kind of getting to the point where it's like, man, I don't care about what happens to Marathon. And that, yeah, I think that could be a little crude, a little, coarse, but that's just where I'm at with this game. And I think a lot of people are as well, where it's like, hey,
yeah,
that Arc Raider looks fun. I'll play that. And I don't have time for another game.
There's two aspects of it, Jeff. There's that part of, I definitely just want a company to thrive because people work there.
Yes. And
I want them to be happy and have a good job. There's another part of me. It's like things I could care about that would come from Bungie. A Destiny 3, a big single player shooter. It doesn't seem like we're getting either of those. So it is kind of it's hard for me to get all that excited about Bungie right now when it's just sort of this weird life support Destiny 2 stuff. And then Marathon, which, I did play, I didn't like, and they're going to make some changes. And it's not even like a point where, well, I'll check out the changes. I need to hear that the changes are interesting and that the game's turned around, and maybe then I'll go and check it out again. My interest level for it is just so rock bottom right now.
Yep. And that's not to say it can't change. Again, if, Pete X in chat is saying that there's elements that people haven't seen publicly that have the sauce according to others. If that gets revealed and I begin to hear that buzz, I will want to pay attention at that moment. But right now, it's just like, I don't know how much I really cared in the first place. It was definitely a professional curiosity, and I hope the best for them. There's plenty of games that do really good that I don't have any interest in. I hope this is able to be one of those, and then gets to a point where it actually does win me over. But we're pretty far away from that in this moment. All right, let me get back to the doc here. Hey, there's a Capcom showcase next week. They're gonna have updates on Resident Evil, Pragmata, Street Fighter. There was another one. Oh, Monster Hunter Wilds. You expecting any surprises? Kind of feels like that's a pretty hefty docket for a 45-minute showcase from Capcom, which usually is a little bit lackadaisical. They kind of slowly move through their stuff.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6. Sagat, I think, is the first character of Season 3. So I bet we'll see our first gameplay of Sagat and maybe get a release date for him. Although Elena came out not too long ago, so it's not imminent. But we'll get a picture of that. Monster Hunter, there's all sorts of post-launch stuff that happens there. It's not like they're going to announce the expansion yet. I'm kind of curious about Pragmata now. It seems like people are a little bit high, relatively high on that after SGF. Resident Evil's interesting though because we saw a demo of Resident Evil 9. Some people played. And it was, basically that demo or similar to it. but it still seems like they're holding a lot back there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors around about what else might be in that game. So I'm curious if we see that aspect of it now, if that's something they're holding on to for much later, like the Game Awards even.
Yeah. I'm kind of at a point where it's like, yeah, that this is a showcase where I expect them to give us a lot of updates. Pragmata is something, like you said, that, yeah, we can focus on that because that's still relatively new that people need to kind of learn a lot about. There's no need to like distract with like a big, huge other announcement. I don't know, but
well, they could just announce that Pragmata is secretly a Mega Man game, and that will count.
I mean, there's a chance. What do you
I
say?
think that's my favorite conspiracy theory ever. By the way,
listen, I want you to really lean into it. You should start making shirts based on that.
They will talk about it on Mega Man on Monday.
Fantastic. Pragmata truther Mike Minotti on Mega Man on Monday. Everybody, watch out.
I'll play Piano 3 on Monday.
Third-party Switch 2 game sales have started off slow, with one publisher selling below our lowest estimates. I'll kind of recap here because there's a little bit more to it than that. That is a story that originated from Chris Dring at the Game Business. He talked to a bunch of people that provided data to him, and in the UK, for example, there are third-party, like the share of third-party games sold on Switch 2, when you exclude even Mario Kart World in the bundle, was very low. It was a little bit better than the Switch one, but not by much. And third-party publishers were expecting way more, at least according to the people Dring talked to. And Dring did talk to one publisher who said their sales were lower than their lowest estimates. Now, Matt Piscatella, who has U.S. data, responded to that by saying, hate to contribute to the discourse, but third-party share of Switch 2 software in the United States is far better than it was during the Switch 1 launch. Like it's far too early to claim best or worst, this or that or whatever when it comes to Switch 2. Sheesh, this thing hasn't even been out 3 weeks. Mike, declare if this is the best or worst now.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's too much of my like goodwill with the Switch 2. But when I did read that original story, I was like, it seems a little early for that. It was also weird because they're like, and of course there are exceptions. Well, but, we know Cyberpunk's an exception. That's doing well. It seems like Street Fighter 6 is doing well.
Yes.
We heard about that a bit. So I'm like, well, then what's not doing well? Like, maybe Sonic Shadow Generations isn't crazy. Maybe Bravely Default Remastered's not selling super well. That wouldn't necessarily shock me.
Right.
Either. But
like, there's only so many of these old games that can really pop off. And you know which ones they're going to be. It's going to be Cyberpunk, because the entire game is on the card. And that's goodwill. People love that. And it runs well enough that people can be like, hey, I can play that on handheld. I only ever had a Switch. I'll finally play Cyberpunk. That story writes itself. Of course that game did fine. And then Street Fighter was the graphical showcase that everyone's like, this looks really good. So, I mean, how much money do we expect people to have to spend on third-party games beyond like 2 big ones? Like if it's Cyberpunk and Street Fighter, if the drop-off after that is Bravely Default, yeah, like you said, I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah, I don't think there really are a ton of people who are like, all right, time for my 3rd or 4th game, and that's,
No
and
way.
I know they're good games. Yakuza 0, and now it's time for Hitman. Like this, yeah, probably not like a ton of that.
I bet Puyo Puyo Tetris did a little bit better in the early days of the Switch than Puyo Puyo Tetris 2S did on Switch 2, because we've gotten a bunch of versions of that game already, and there's a lot more options here at launch. Now, Mike, I'm playing Puyo Puyo Tetris. I love it. It's a good game. I'm glad it's there. I hope companies like Sega can continue to justify putting out games like that on the Switch too. Maybe they'll have to like recalibrate a few things, but I don't think this leads to a bunch of them running away from that system. It is far too early. I think you got to like see how things shake out here in the next few months.
Right. Plus, I think for so many people, just having Mario Kart and then all the backwards compatibility stuff is kind of enough to keep you busy for a bit. And, plus some people are like, I gotta save for Donkey Kong. I don't have room for Yakuza 0 or Bravely Default right now. So, I don't know. We'll get more data soon. Just let's wait a little bit here. But yeah, it's like, how much do we expect? I mean, they're ports at the end of the day, almost all this stuff. A lot of these aren't new games. It'd be one thing if, Sega said, here's our brand new game, it's a Switch 2 exclusive coming for launch. No, they ported Yakuza 0 and, a new version of Puyo Puyo Tetris 2, right? Square Enix didn't have a new RPG for the launch of the Switch 2 is a remaster of Bravely Default. That's nice.
It's nice.
You know, it's nice, but you're not going to get amazing sales out of this stuff. Was there a single like third party like brand new game launching Switch 2? It's just stuff that's newer-ish, like Split Fiction.
Yeah.
Again, that's nice. But nobody even had a zombie U. Nobody even wanted to bother with a zombie U this time. So yeah, that's what you get.
Yep, I think that's the exact right take on this. Is like these games I think are probably doing fine for what they are, and what they are is mostly kind of old. And when some of them are not just old, they were very popular on systems they were already out on. So there's just a limited number of people who are going to be spending the money on these things at this point. If you're someone who really wanted to play Cyberpunk even, you probably already played Cyberpunk. So you're already like kind of limited. And that game did fine despite that. Only so many games are going to do fine despite having, you know, headwinds pushing up against them. All right, that does it for the big topics I wanted to talk about. We have been getting plenty of super chats. So why don't we take a break? We'll come back. I'll have Mike read those super chats. We'll talk about what they want to talk about right after this.
This is a break. We are
super chats
on a
from
break.
The last stream, so we're good to go. I'm ready.
Okay.
You got him.
Let me just, I'm going to tell my kids something real quick. I'm going to mute myself.
I'm going to go get a second drink because the segment
All
is
right,
long.
we're out here, gentlemen.
Mike been naughty, Mike been naughty.
Gentle humans. Just hanging out. I can't believe Mike hates Marathon this much. It's crazy. He's such a hater. He's so funny.
All right. What are you telling these people?
Nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I should say the mic is really good.
He's being a good boy. Is that really what you're saying?
He said Mike's a hater, which is the truth.
Well,
you know?
I mean, of course. Tell me something I don't know.
Yeah, fuddy-duddy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Look, let's go. Pete wants to play Marathon. Imagine how different the world would have been if they didn't open up that closed beta. If there was like, this is a closed up under NDA and never happened. What I remember me being like, that sounds so stupid. Why wouldn't they show it? Didn't they show it and it all fall apart? That was funny.
Hi, Nick.
Oh, hello, Nick.
Hi, Brad. All right. I'm ready.
All right. I like how you say Tude, by the way.
Yeah, that's I think that was Backler said that in our Discord by way of like I think he was channeling Lucy. So the
proper British bloke over there.
You said by the way, you were gonna say something? No? All right.
Who did?
I thought Christian said by the way, and then I interrupted him, so I was gonna see if he was gonna...
if I was, I had already forgotten.
All right,
yeah, who cares?
No worries. And then I like Brad Lynch in chat. Spoilers, Square Enix says it underperformed. Yeah, I think we can expect that.
I mean, do you also expect the publisher they talked with somehow Square Enix, and this is about Bravely Default Remastered? Because that's kind of what I expect.
Oh,
yeah, I think there's a chance for that, for sure, yeah.
You're probably right on the money right now.
I think the betting odds would be in the favor of that, I think. All right, I'm going to bring the show back.
Should have given me a review code. I could have told people it was good.
Wow.
All right, we're back. Let's do the super chats, then we'll get to our topic here in a little bit. Mike, go ahead and read those for me.
Sniper from Saskatchewan said, just got good pathology results and super glad I got surgery when I did. Worse graded cancer than expected. Would have been worse if I waited 5+ years. I'm glad your pathology results are good, Simon. I hope that things continue to go well for you. You do everything you need to do to rest and recover there, buddy. Thank you so much for the super chat and for checking in with us.
Yep, it's just love seeing you there, and I hope you're feeling better, man. That's awesome.
Simon's back again. Do you think they'll make a Professor Layton collection? I guess, man, now that you say it, I'm surprised they haven't. It seems like Capcom has done really well with those Phoenix Wright collections. Not only do they sell, but people keep discovering those games.
Yeah,
Jeff,
you're right.
Right?
That's a good point. Yeah, like something they just like over the years, like it's, and then the whole collection's there on a system they have, like the Switch, so they play all of them. So yeah, so what do you think that means for Professor Layton?
Because there's the original. It should just happen because there's the original trilogy and then there was a sequel trilogy, I believe. So like, yeah, just like, do a collection.
And they have a new one right around the corner. So.
And there's the new one coming out, and then there's like really weird things like that mobile game starring his sons or whatever, or children. We don't need to worry about that. But at least, yeah, do the original trilogy, and then it was a prequel trilogy actually.
That's right.
It was like Star Wars. Yeah, and those are all 6 of those are great games. They should absolutely be in either one collection or split it off into 2 collections. Why not?
And there's that new Professor Layton game. What I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, that's supposed to be coming out. So why not promote that, but with these old games?
I'm excited for that game. I'm excited for some Professor Layton. It's been a while.
Yes, that's one of those games where it's like they re-released that on smartphones, and I did buy that. That's a really good adaptation to smartphones. All right, what else we got?
And so it says, is that tattooing Mike bet still happening? Yeah, Jeff, you got all this free time. When's your co-op playing all of Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough happening?
I'm building up my momentum. I'm stretching my legs. I'm like doing a little hip side to side action, trying to get limber. And also I bought a website and I got kind of busy, but I don't know. I think I'm supposed to do it with Jan. That might be difficult because it's hard to get me and Jan like in one of these rooms for an extended period of time.
That's one of the reasons why I said it was never going to happen.
Well, okay. Keep defying me and you'll see. You'll see.
You'll see. Next one here, let's see, is from Lex. It says, Mike, Rado is a great Switch 2 before bed game. This is that remaster of the Shin Megami Tensei action RPG has come out. Jeff got pretty good reviews. I kind of want to check it out, but it's a very big game. It's a long game, and I'm kind of happy playing Splatoon 3 at the moment, and like finding other stuff to do, killing time until Donkey Kong. And I don't think I'm going to beat this game before Donkey Kong's out. It's too much of an ask right now.
Yeah. This is I know it's from Atlas. How does it relate to Persona?
It's from the parents.
So
it's an offspring of Shin Megami Tensei, which Shin Megami Tensei is like the main line.
So it's a cousin.
So yeah, Shin Megami Tensei is the main series, and then from that you had spin-off series like Persona and like this, which was originally called Devil
Summoner.
Is this Devil Summoner, Devil Survivor, Summoner, and now it's just called Radao instead of that, I guess, for some reason. It doesn't even have the SMT branding on it anymore.
It's the Stranger of Paradise of the Atlas RPGs, Jeff.
That's a great way of putting it. There you go.
Thank you.
Chaos. Remember when we were all making chaos jokes and I got really mad, and then the game actually came out and all the people who said that the game looked cool and funny because it was stupid didn't actually buy and play it, and I did.
But he doesn't hold a grudge.
Oh, Roxo says, question for Manicotti. Would wearing a Mario cap be considered inappropriate in Italy? I have a trip to Rome planned and don't want to offend anyone. No one will be offended. No. I think they might think you're a fucking loser. I gotta be honest.
I think they'll like it.
Will they? I don't know.
I just like I wasn't in Italy, so I don't know.
No.
But when I was in Eastern Europe and I was in town like tourist towns and Italians were also there, all of them were the most out-of-pocket people in a good way, like parentheses positive. They were all wearing like crazy like local like wigs to make them look more like locals and stuff like that and celebrating. Now I think it was around New Year's, so maybe that's just how they do New Year's. But I don't know. The Italians I've met in Europe seem like they'd be down to clown.
Yeah, I work with real Italians, not like Mike, and they are really funny people, really welcoming people.
That's fine, but like if you're unsure of a foreign place, I would try to be normal before I start trying to put some mustard on it. You know what I mean?
Don't do it in Sicily.
Connor Wood says Bonanza is an action road trip musical game of the year. Oh, Jeff, I'm very excited about the musical aspect of the game. It sounds like they loud and clear knew how much people like Jump Up Superstar, and we're like, well, we are the team who did that game, so let's just double down on all of that stuff for this. Oh God, Bonanza looks so freaking good, Jeff. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I mean, taking Pauline singing, making that a part of the game, it's a really good idea. And Nintendo kind of is, I mean, if not the best, they're up there with incorporating music into their games. I'm thinking like Tears of the Kingdom in this moment, like that I think is kind of unparalleled when it comes to that stuff. But so if they're going to kind of continue down that route where it's like, hey, we care about every aspect of these games, including the music and how that incorporates and integrates into the gameplay, I'm excited about those possibilities. Also, they're just good songs. Jump Up Superstar, still a banger to this day.
It's fantastic. Can't wait. Greg says, is F-Zero GX the prequel to Yakuza 1 on PS2? It's the same team. There are those. I think you said before that your dream Nintendo game was a F-Zero set in just that Mute City from those cutscenes in F-Zero GX, and I agree with you.
Let the Yakuza team work on it. Let's do it.
Chad Seost.
Chadstolist.
Yeah, it's like specialist, Chadstolist.
Or socialist. Yeah, Chadstolist. Yeah. Oh, no, I messed that
says, up. Ooh, banana.
That's what they say every time he gets a banana in DK Bonanza, and I'm going to pop every time.
Donkey Kong 64, it's like the whole 101% thing. I know I'm supposed to find that painful, but let's pretend that I played many, many more painful games than that and like 3D platformers. I mean, do you really think I'm going to find playing Donkey Kong 64 that painful?
No. I think you'll find moments of it painful. I think you will find many parts of it tedious. Like when you're when you get to a thing, you're like, oh, I got to go back and get another character. But I mean, no, I played a lot of that game. Of course, I didn't 101% it, but I played a lot of that game. There's good 3D platformer stuff in there. It's just buried under a lot of crap. And people who are weaker than you are right to hate it. It's not for them, but for a 3D platformer pervert like you, I think you're going to find a lot of it quite enjoyable.
Acratic says, how much do I have to super chat to bring back Game Mess Jeopardy?
We're always talking about things to do with Game Mess Jeopardy and stuff like that. It's a busy time, and maybe when me and Sean get a little bit more time, we'll take that time to talk about it some more. But we'll see. No promises, but also go ahead, Sean.
I'm still saying soon TM, but also these two are more fried than I thought they would be. So maybe we push it just a little bit further.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
A smidge fried.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't even get them to watch a show. Imagine that.
Thank God you said that. I got to watch Columbo yesterday night. Shit.
I was going to watch it when Steph got home, and then she never came home. So, yes, I've also not watched it.
Okay, good. I was like, wait a second. That's right. Okay.
That was incredible. Your face went on a time travel journey.
I was like, wait, we were supposed to do a Columbros. What was that? I got to watch the show, so I'm prepared. Oh, shit. We're going to do that tonight. Okay, yeah, we'll get. And I know Game Club is also a little behind everyone. I'm sorry.
Everyone understands what's going on. We appreciate everyone being so understanding.
Yes, it's been a lot of just wake up, work, go to bed, wake up, go to work again. Days lately. Uncharted Wolf says, Mike, thank you for telling the truth about how uncomfortable the Steam Deck is. Also, I can't wait for y'all to see your mind's eye review predictions. Oh God, what the hell did we guess on Mind's Eye?
Just tell us. I can't wait.
I could not have been positive, but maybe
I feel like
I don't know.
I must be wrong because I have this gut feeling I'm sure I undercut Mike, and that's completely just having the information now and working backward. I'm worried. I'm really worried.
I remember you two being weirdly positive about it, a little bit more positive not super positive, but a little bit more positive than the reality that happened now.
Well, yeah. It's in the 30s.
I think you gave it more. So.
Yeah, I definitely got it. We almost never assume a game that has.
I probably gave it in the 70s, and that was probably incredibly generous.
I really hope I'm at least in the 70s. If I'm in the 80s, I will be mad at myself.
Jackalope, thank you for the 5 gifted subs here. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Next up is from Zassy, who says, it was supposed to be up on Smarch 6. They got the date format backwards. Lousy Smarch weather.
Ruining everything.
It's hot in a lot of places right now, and that's a problem. That's a problem because I think I might go to Disney World next weekend, so it's gonna be
hell yeah. Hopefully the heat wave passes by then, but I bet there's been a heat wave located in Orlando specifically for the last month, and now it's everywhere, so I'm sure it's even worse there now.
Fucking go. Dubious Food says, Mike, I've been watching you suffer for too long. I turned 40 in December, and I have never once eaten banana. You described the disgust for fruit earlier in perfect detail. You are not alone. Thank you.
It also has 3 thumbs ups, this comment. So you got a cohort here.
It's
all the
not
fructosoids are out.
Man, fruit's so good.
I mean, look, before we were hunter-gatherers, we were just gatherers. And what do you think happened there? There's some people who were just over it, and they weren't able to get enough nuts.
Wait, okay. So you're saying we were gathering up fruit, and you got sick of it on an evolutionary level?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe a cultural level.
Okay, oh sure, okay. But then they passed that culture down to you, and maybe it skipped a few generations, or unless you're saying you knew a great grandfather.
No.
Who also ate
What
fruit.
I'm saying is the only reason we ever hunted in the first place, and to be clear, I know this isn't the case. But the bad joke is that we only ever hunted because enough people didn't like fruit like me.
So we have you to thank for hamburgers.
No, I wasn't there at the time. But,
Okay,
you know,
well, you're people.
my people. Wheat Demon says y'all still gonna use the Blight Club theme I made. Jeff, I don't remember it. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, Wheat Demon. I remember. I think I don't remember if I have it anywhere. So
Resend it to us. Bump
resend
us
it.
on that.
Exactly. Yeah. Here's the reality. We do get a lot of stuff along these lines. And we're not always like sure if people are like just giving it to us to use, and we always feel kind of weird about that. And we like to try to pay people, so it's always just a little bit weird in those situations. So make sure you like reach out to us and really like tell us what's going on and get in a conversation. And also, we can be hard to reach sometimes. I know that like I've definitely left people on red for a long time. I'm bad at that sort of thing. So just stick to it and let me know, and we'll see if we can make something happen.
Totodile says, how much money can I give to have Jeff go visit Mike and sit on his lap when Mike faces Genichiro and Sekiro?
I mean, you gave $20. That seems pretty good.
So that's supposed to be a hard boss fight?
Genichiro's up there. He's definitely one of the harder boss fights, and that's the one I beat with Addy. I was like cradling her and holding the controller, and it's not like that's like some crazy thing, but it's a fun thing to say. I beat Genichiro with the baby in my lap, and I have the video, although you can't see it, so there's like two comments. One of them's like, it's funny because you just have to take his word for it. And I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. But yeah, I did that, and it's fun. So yeah, I will sit on Mike's lap while he does that.
No, I already fought Genichiro today, just before the stream. It took me 2 attempts.
Yeah, I actually don't think it took me that long. It was just kind of a fun thing, but that's impressive. 2 attempts. I think it was probably like 5 or 6 for me.
You're gonna always be like, well, you didn't have a baby in your lap, now aren't you?
Well, you didn't.
Damn it! Somebody give me a baby.
You can't just say.
Next one here is from the Drum Kid 92. Says, you two have been absolutely killing it. Grateful to have you in this space and other spaces. You're hoping to keep my love of video games alive. Thank you, Drum Kid. Those are very nice things to say about it.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks for hanging out. You make it better too.
Thank you. Do you know any babies? B. Traven says, any interest in Arc Raiders? What with Marathon being a letdown, seems like it might end up as the console extraction shooter. I mean, it certainly seems to have more buzz right now. But like, one of my takeaways from just playing the Marathon Alpha is that I think I don't like extraction shooters as a whole.
Is Arc Raiders an extraction shooter?
Yeah.
Yep. By the numbers, like it's like the most extraction shooter of them all, I think.
Okay, cool. I didn't know. I'll tell you, the only reason I've been interested in Arc Raiders is I think the art design is pretty cool. They got like 1970s sci-fi novel cover energy, and I like that. So I'm paying attention on that front, but I don't know. We'll see when I actually play it if I care about it.
I play a lot of it during the beta, and I fucking loved it. All my extraction shooter homies loves the shit out of Arc Raiders, so pretty good.
Nintendo says Capcom's previous showcases have always been kind of rough to watch, but the games are almost always great. Why is this? Because they know that there aren't going to be that many people watching these compared to a PlayStation State of Play or a Game Awards, so they're going to save the big announcements for that for Nintendo Directs.
I just think their goal is a lot of these things are already announced, so this is going to be more informational. They are drier because what they're really doing is we'll get the super fans to watch, and they will spread the word through word of mouth, and then also the press will watch and they'll write stories about it. Now they have ways of talking to the press, that don't require something like this. So it's kind of a 2 thing there, where it's we can get the audience to talk about it, we can get the press to talk about it, and go from there.
All right, next up here is from Chrono Rig. Hey, dogs, I feel like once Hades 2, which is a timed exclusive, and others like Daemon X Machina 2 come out, we can see the data better in the first year. Yeah, those are much more interesting third-party exclusives. Who makes Daemon X Machina? Part of me almost thought that was Nintendo, but yeah, obviously it isn't.
I thought Nintendo published it in certain territories when it came out, but maybe I'm wrong.
Daemon X Machina
is it Xseed?
It's Marvelous for Studio. It
Oh,
is
Marvelous.
Xseed, yeah.
Okay, all
But
right.
like it was Nintendo for Switch. So that one, but perhaps a second party game, if you may, Jeff, for sure. But yeah, I think still I understand your point here, especially with Hades 2. But
Hades 2
Hades
for
2
sure.
sells incredibly well.
I think
on
that is
Switch
going
too.
to go insane on the Switch too, especially because I think Nintendo will sort of adopt it the way it has with Hades 1.
Next up is from Screaming Madden. I hope to get a Switch 2 by July because man, I'm pumped for DK Bonanza. But I have to ask, what are you gonna make in DK Artist Bonandium?
Penis!
God, I am excited just to see people put a penis on Donkey Kong's forehead.
Yeah.
But like, I also just want to see like really intricate Lanky Kong art.
Sure. You can just make
Right,
Lanky
'cause-
Kong's limbs all penises.
Right? Yeah. He has no style. He has no grace. This Kong has a penis face.
Fuck yeah.
Was there ever a greater gift to culture than the DK rap?
No. And look, when they started using the DK rap in Bonanza, that really got me. I'm like, oh, I can't
They
believe
know.
They know, and it's like they're willing to, like, because I always was operating under the assumption Nintendo kind of put Rare's Donkey Kong kind of over there and kept it at arm's length. But they are keeping
Lanky arm's length.
Yes, they are keeping some pieces of the buffalo here, and they're keeping the most important ones with like the DK rap.
I
Some of
did
the
like
DK
hearing
country
like
music.
I did like how much more Donkey Kong Country stuff was clearly evident in Bonanza, and then you
Rambi.
look like Rambi, Diddy, Dixie, all that music. I can't remember if Sticker Bush Symphony was played during that, but if I hear that, I'm gonna go crazy. I'm sure Aquatic Ambiance is gonna happen at some point.
If Funky Kong isn't in the game, I will become a terrorist.
There's a
I don't even know if I'm joking. Look at me. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Look at me, motherfuckers. Funky Kong better be in this goddamn video game. I'll do some bad stuff. Okay?
102 episodes was a hell of a run, guys.
That was good. Oh, boy.
I just love that goddamn monkey.
That's a funny thing
It's
to
crazy.
say.
It wasn't me the one saying this. That's insane.
Oh my god! Yeah, save that for us and not Giant
Oh
Bomb.
yeah, exactly. Let's separate these two things a little bit.
Oh my god! I'll tell you what. There's that whole surfing themed area. They better fucking have a Funky Kong there.
Funky Kong.
What was that? A super chat? Okay. Next up, Grug. So, how are you feeling about the second half of 2025 for games? The first half of 2025 was stacked, in my opinion. Turbo Sean is still old penis.
The fuck?
Congratulations on becoming old, Turbo Sean. You made it.
I need to go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, first half was great. I mean, second half we're gonna have with Donkey Kong, Death Stranding, Metal Gear Delta.
October got packed during SGF, right? There was a ton of like October games.
There's a ton of October stuff all of a sudden. That's Shinobi. I can't wait for that.
I tell you what, we'll do another like, hey, what's happening the rest of the year next week on Decides. We'll kind of like look at the release dates now that SGF has happened and kind of see how we're feeling about the rest of the year.
Silent Hill F is like, right around then. So there's like a bunch of good stuff still coming. I mean, honestly, we've had a lot of good years lately. It feels like, I know 2023 especially, I think was wild, right? But last year was also very good. This year has been very good as well. So, there's a lot of things wrong with the industry right now. But we still keep getting good video games. We really do.
Oh yeah. There's tons of problems, but like one of the problems is not enough good video games.
Right, Final Fantasy Tactics, Ninja Gaiden 4. Oh my gosh, yeah, tons of stuff. All right, next up here is from Mikey O'Leary. Man who comes from a culture of tomato sauce says he hates fruit because of his culture. Got it. Okay, the whole like tomatoes are fruit. Tomatoes are fruit thing. But like, let's say it is. Let's say that it biologically is a fruit. True. Whatever. It's not what I'm really talking. Also, I'm not eating raw tomatoes. That would also be disgusting for me. Like, you cook it down in a sauce,
so all the water evaporates. Yeah,
and trust me, I do a pretty thick sauce. I do a thick, non-chunky sauce when I do my tomatoes. for sure. You know, you got to put a lot of us, but you know, like the tomatoes aren't. I know they have a sweetness, but they're not sweet in the way that fruit is. They don't have that kind of base fruit flavor.
There's a saltiness
we're talking
to them
about.
too. Yeah. Sodium.
Yeah. It's just it tastes something like an apple. That's what it is. It's not very apple adjacent. It just
I agree.
isn't.
Yeah, I like both, and I agree.
On God 999 says, "Did you see Switch 2 firmware update fixed games? Oh, I wonder what games it fixed. I have no idea."
I didn't know the firmware. I saw a bunch of updates for specific games. I didn't know a firmware update. happened.
I saw this. I think it's in part the backwards compatibility layer because Limited Realm was saying that some of their Carbon Engine stuff is now working on Switch 2.
Oh, right. I did
before.
see that. Hey, can you please take down Gex Trilogy because it's breaking on Switch 2? Okay.
Yeah.
I hope that fixed it. By the way, I played Gex Trilogy with Audie today on Giant Bomb. Love hanging out with Audie. He wants to do a 3DO stream, Mike, because he loves 3DO. So,
cool.
So I told him I'm going to make that happen in the next couple of weeks.
Hell yeah! I gotta
Dude,
I'm gonna
get
see if I get the 3DO working.
Get John in there too. Do the MK2 on 3DO that he was talking about.
Okay. That's a great idea. We'll do it.
Vogwa God says, "Shout out to the hard-fought competitors on Real Housewives of Sick Merida
SLC.
Mars." Right, but yeah, Vogwa Gods brought this up during a Bombcast. I think a real big Real Housewives fan of Vogwa Gods.
I mean, listen, if you got your champion, you got your champion. It sounds like Meredith Marks is Fahoko God's champion.
Oh, that was the jokes that I thought it was like a contest, and it's not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's just. Although, that's the joke here, right? Why call her out then the last time if she wasn't like some winner?
Look, we don't have to have answers to everything, Jeff.
You're right. Maybe I'm happier in my ignorance.
Chris Pratt says, would a super chat more, but the bank was closed for some reason and couldn't deposit my Mario royalty.
Shut up, Chris Pratt.
It's like, man, Chris love to work. Why are there so many holidays? I'm just bringing it up today. It's shocking that for some reason this is the holiday where suddenly there's too many holidays, Jeff. There's too many dang holidays.
Too many days off for
Jesus
what?
Jesus Christ. Holy shit. Thank you, Chris Pratt.
Thanks, Chris son.
For that. All right, that's it for the Super Chats for now. Everybody, if you want to send in more, we will read them before the end of the show. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mike, for reading those. Let's take another break. We'll come back and we're going to do our Mount Rushmore of rude dudes with attitudes, and that's for video game characters right after this. Okay.
All right.
I got something for you when we get back from break.
All right, fantastic.
All right,
Oh
good.
shit.
Hell yeah.
Let's. I'm good if you guys are good.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
running
good.
out of steam here.
All right, we're back. Mike Minotti and Jeff Grubb here on Game S Decides. Let's do our Mount Rushmore. It is going to be for rude video game characters with attitudes. So, I mean, I guess you know what? We can probably explain it if we start suggesting some. I think most people understand what we mean. This was a huge thing in the 90s, though. So there might be some people who are a little bit younger who this might not not fully get what we're going for. So, Mike Minotti, do you have anything else to add there, or do you want to just jump in and recommend something?
I think I get the mood board here. But it's not like just to be. It's not just rude. Like there's got to be a cool factor to it.
Right. The rude Tude is like saying like they are cool or too cool for a lot of stuff. Like too cool for school kind of characters. Like I said, someone said say Wario. Wario's not really what I'm thinking of here. Yeah, I was gonna bring up Wario and be like, I'm not sure if he really qualifies because he's just kind of a stinker and
kind of a stinker.
Yeah. And like, look, there could be some stinkers on this list, but like Booger Man, I also don't think is gonna like he wouldn't qualify because he's not popular enough. He's not emblematic. But if he was, I still think he's not exactly what we're talking about here. Now we're talking about, for example, Sonic the Hedgehog, right? Like that was the whole thing there. Look how cool Sonic the Hedgehog is. And Mario's actually kind of lame when you think about it, right? This is stupid kid stuff. But Sonic, if you don't move for a bit, he taps his foot and looks at it. It's fun. I still think to this day, so much of Sonic's attitude is told at us more than it's conveyed a lot of the time. There's definitely a little bit more of it in like the movies and things like that, especially in the games. Or the commercials, right? Like the commercials might have made it like more in your face than even the games were. He was just kind of a cute guy that ran fast. Right, exactly. If like his idle animation
was him smiling at you instead, then pretty much 99% of his attitude is gone. But it was kind of part of the marketing pitch, and it's what we associate him with. And there was a coolness factor to Sonic, and he does have that, the attitude did come through in all the multimedia and eventually back into the games. So I think he's definitely a big one here.
All right. Well, I do have him on the brain because I was playing that game earlier, but I do think he at least qualifies in terms of fitting the bill of what we're talking about here. Let's see if he actually makes it high enough on the list. And that's Gex from Gex.
Right. And no Goku's rule, everybody. I see someone suggested Bart Simpson. Bart Simpson is a Goku. He got originate in games.
Yep. Yeah, that's the rule. That's what he means when he says no Gokus. It has to originate in games. All right. Yeah. Gex is just like nonstop sort of sarcastic remarks. And I think that's a big part of, I think, what we mean by this attitude. And like, it's irreverent, and there's like aspects of the games themselves that are sort of like Gex has a hot human girlfriend in Gex 3, right? It's like that's another thing that happens with these characters all the time.
Yeah, he's like never scared. Like he's never taking the situation seriously.
Yes,
he's too cool for the peril clearly happening around him. Yeah, so Gex for sure. Gex is definitely in that lineage of Sonic kind of ripoffs, right? Like absolutely, and we had a ton of those. The awesome possums of the world and what have you, right?
Let me just make this big enough for people to read. There we go.
Get big. You ready for one for me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Duke Nukem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting. I was almost thinking entirely anthropomorphic characters, but you're not wrong.
Oh, Duke Nukem.
You you got his name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Fuck, that's dumb.
What do you mean? Like Nukem?
Nukem.
That's what you're getting?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
It's just the word nuke. I mean,
is that there's also a Duke
I never
Nukem
thought about it.
There's also a Duke Nukem in Captain Planet, unrelated, who was a villain. Remember
really?
him? Yeah, he was just a henchman. I think he had a lot of toxic waste at his disposal or something like that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but very similar. All the one-liners. He liked babes a lot. He had like a cool guy voice. And he shot people and aliens and yeah. Like that was kind of the whole appeal there. Like Duke Nukem 3D was kind of the next big first-person shooter hit after like Doom and Doom 2. And it was sort of in that lineage, and there were some upgrades to the systems, but part of it was that edgy factor of Duke himself with the sunglasses and everything, and of course the babes, the strippers, and all that stuff. So yeah, tons of attitude with Duke Nukem.
I'm gonna go with Crash Bandicoot, who wears jean shorts. So that's kind of all you really need to know. Anyone who wears jean shorts is a rude dude who's too cool for school. Also, he yelled at Nintendo a lot from outside their building and kind of put him in their place.
All the attitude for me is in those commercials, because in that game, he's just a silly goober, really. He doesn't even talk.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, the design was clearly supposed to be like, hey, this is like your cool older brother. Like he's got sneakers and jean shorts, and he's got kind of like this relaxed posture, which again, like he's too cool for the peril and stuff like that. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot, I think definitely rates here.
This list now featuring Dante from Devil May Cry. Dante's definitely a cool guy with attitude. He's kind of like, he's too cool for a lot of situations. He drops that guard sometimes, for sure. But he has intense cool guy swagger. That's sort of the whole thing with that character.
Yeah. Yeah, God, I guess there are a lot of characters along those lines as well. And Dante's probably the sort of, if it's not Dante, it's what's the other one? Nero.
Nero, yeah, but he's like he's kind of more quiet, jerkish, right?
Right, yeah.
Oh, and Nero's not Nero. I mean, that's fucking Nero's a bit
Virgil,
pluckier.
you mean?
Okay.
Virgil's the brother who's a jerk. Nero's a bit pluckier.
Okay.
He's a smidge of a poochie. He's not a full blown poochie, of course. We like Nero, but he's a smidge of poochiness there.
How do you feel?
Or even better, the fucking dog from Scooby-Doo. There's a little bit of Scrappy-Doo with Nero.
Okay.
I think Nero's a bit of a Scrappy-Doo.
We could do a Scrappy-Doo Mount Rushmore at some point. Go ahead, Christian. What was that?
No, that was an insult for me. At least if you call somebody Scrappy Doo, that's just fighting.
You know what?
words.
I always liked Scrappy Doo. I never understood the problem. I thought he was funny. Puppy power.
You
Yeah,
like a Scrappy Doo?
That's because you are Scrappy Doo.
I feel like we had this conversation. I feel like
that's why I'm not saying anything.
As soon
It's
as
like,
Sean
all this is
said
true.
you are Scrappy Doo, I'm like, man, that sounded familiar.
We're just playing the hints at this point, man. What
I
can
had
we
the
say?
deja vu there for sure. Play the hits. Call him Scrappy Doo again. Jeff, say that thing about being a terrorist again.
I
Play the
never
hits.
said any such thing. How dare you put words in my
I don't know
mouth?
what you're talking about.
All right, how do you feel about a character that didn't necessarily start out as a cool dude with Tude, but by like the second game onward became one, like Jack from Jack and Dexter? It
was such a pivot.
It was a pivot. They like turned it on. They're like, we have to unleash this. I can never remember the name of the game. The one where the lady was normal in the first game and sex Pandemonium? Is that the name of the game?
They Pandemonium it.
Pandemonium
It's weird how
Tudum.
much this is. Yeah. Or remember Prince of Persia, right?
Yeah,
The second one is the same. This was a thing. It was like, God, oh shit, all the kids who we thought these kids were going to be 10 forever, and a lot of them are 15 now.
And they think that they think that old game is gay. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of. It's like, oh, they're calling it Zelda with like a C. They're too edgy. They've got to put more girls in metal bikinis now.
The Godsmack era. Exactly, Connell Wood. Thank you. Listen, I don't think Prince of Persia, parentheses Warrior Within, would make this list. I think Jack has a chance to be considered.
I think Jack can be considered for sure. I mean, I didn't like the pivot personally. I think,
Sure.
Yeah, some people are split on like Jack 1 or Jack 2. I'm a Jack 1 kind of guy.
I might just do 2 because it's kind of. Oh, what did I do there? Oh, cool. I destroyed everything there.
It's crazy to me that nobody said Johnny Cage, the ultimate dude with Tude.
He's
Why is my dope?
he's sort of Duke Nukem adjacent, and he's so irreverent.
I'm sorry, I broke my
He's
thing a little
cool,
bit,
though.
so you guys maybe suggest another one while I fix this.
We're debating if Johnny Cage should maybe be in there. I don't know why. It's like, I know you're right, and yet there's something about it that I'm like, I don't know about Johnny Cage.
He's too human for you. He's like too real. What's going on?
No, the character for Too Human is not a cool dude.
Like, Johnny Cage is always kind of presented as being a pathetic loser in some way, as maybe as part of it, right?
That's later on.
I guess that's a little bit later on, I suppose. But I don't know, even from the beginning, he was like, look at this douchebag. Kind of the vibe I got. We're like, Duke Nukem, it's like, isn't this guy cool? We all like this guy.
I think that sounds right to me. Okay, well then, I don't know why this reminds me of him, but Shadow the Hedgehog. Is Shadow the Hedgehog at too try hard to be too cool?
I think he's so tryhard and edgelordy.
Yes.
Right? He's got a bad attitude, but it's not like a cool attitude. It's
right.
a little different.
He's got a gun, which I think maybe even goes against this. And not that, obviously Duke Nukem has a gun, but he's in a first-person shooter, so whatever. It's like, now you're just trying too hard. You're like, I'm the cool one with the gun.
And like, I've seen some people say Nathan Drake, and I'm like, I guess he's a cool dude. He's got Tude, but he's such like a goober. Right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Is Indiana Jones a cool dude with Tude?
No, he definitely isn't.
Right.
Yeah,
He's a cool dude. He doesn't really have Tude.
Yeah. Sort of irreverent.
Like, here's one that people are saying this in chat, and it's almost just purely off design. Basically, Jeff, because he kind of looks like Rascal in that BK Kids Club sense, Kid Chameleon.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I don't. You're right. They just designed him that way, which is a big part of this for sure. But I don't know. Kid Chameleon's not even that great of a game, so people don't really think about him that much.
It's
I
just
don't
like
know if he rates.
Mario 3.
Yeah.
Kid Chameleon. It's also really long. There's like 99 levels or something. Nobody actually wants to beat Kid Chameleon.
What about Earthworm Jim? I'm not feeling. I don't like Earthworm Jim personally.
He's a loser.
He's a loser. He's even depicted as a loser in the games.
Yeah,
it's
that's
funny.
a good point.
Yeah. Like Tojo, I don't think Tojo and Earl had that much attitude. Honestly, they're cool.
Yeah,
they're kind of chill.
Right. They were just hip.
They're hip and chill.
Yeah. Rash from the Battletoads.
Yeah, they're kind of cool.
Pull 'em
Too.
up
Is that
there.
Yeah, is that the one with the glasses?
I think so. Yeah.
That's the one that's
the,
in Killer Instinct.
yeah, the one with the glasses. Yes.
Let's consider Rash. Rash is a cool dude with attitude for sure.
Okay. Man, sunglasses is a big part of it too.
Bubsy's not cool.
He's like
Bubsy,
he's trying to have like comments like he's cool. He's definitely in the Gex vein.
it is funny because like that nothing helps Gex more than the existence of Bubsy.
Yeah, like the comparison point, like comparison to the Thief of Joy, not in the case of Gex. Compare him to Bubsy all day long, and that's going to just look great for Gex.
Yeah. Maybe Sean, I'm curious what you think. How about Blue from original Pokemon, your first rival? That guy was a cool dude with big attitude. He had a big attitude problem. He talked a lot of smack. Couldn't even back it up.
I think that's a good call. He's like maybe a little on the verge of being like little stinker territory.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I like the poll. Yeah, I approve.
I mean, I'm like at a point where I'm like, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger? I don't know. I don't know if I have him anymore.
What about Cloud? Cloud Strife, Final Fantasy VII.
No, he has PTSD, motherfucker. He went to war.
Cool dudes can have PTSD.
No, that's also a good poll because if you play FF7, you know Cloud's trying too hard to be cool, which is often what these cool dudes do.
That's true. He's
that's true.
To be
And like
cool,
Squirrel's too emo, like to be too cool. For sure.
People want us to consider Serious Sam. Phantom Zero just sent in a super chat to say as much.
Yeah. What is... I played that game, and I know they're called Serious Sam, and I assume they star a guy named Serious Sam, and I think I've seen him on the box, but I really don't know much about him aside from that.
Yeah, I mean, I always assumed it was like Diet Duke Nukem in terms of character design. Like, I played some of the Serious Sam games, but I never got much of the character. So I don't... Oh, Johnny Gad is a good one. But is he almost parody? I guess a lot of these ones like border into parody.
Yeah,
Johnny Gat's a good one. I just don't know if he's going to make the list. That's fine though.
Let's put him on though.
Yeah,
looks better that way.
Yeah.
Johnny. Ooh, I like that. I like that, Zach. Okay, Falco Lombardi from Star Fox. That's a good pool.
That's a good one. All right,
Zach.
Lombardi.
Falco Lombardi. He's pretty cool. He's got a lot of attitude though. Even when you save his life. I guess you should be thankful. That's maybe the most attitude-dripping line of video game history. I guess I should be grateful. Right? It says, you just saved that fucking bird's life.
And
yeah, I guess you should be.
Maybe actually try to be. But he's too cool to actually be thankful. That's the best you're going to get out of a cool dude with Tude like that.
I get it. Yeah. He's Italian. So
Falco Lombardi.
Lombardi.
Jesus Christ.
I've seen a few like Master Chief, Agent 47, they're kind of silent and mysterious. I don't know if they're...
Yeah, they're the strong silent type. Yeah, that's kind of the exact opposite. Strong silent type is not cool dude with Tude.
This entire segment, I've been thinking about like fighting games, like characters that are too cool, but every character is that. Like in Street Fighter, you can pick like Alex, like I don't know, see Viper. Every character is a cool dude with Tude. I don't know, so it's kind of impossible.
Right,
Sean's saying Beautiful Joe. That's not terrible. He's a bit of a goober again, right?
Yeah, but I don't think goober undoes because that's
undo it.
Right. That's what they're almost compensating for their goober-ishness. Beautiful.
Mikey O'Leary in chat said Tribal Tattoo Mario from the Game Boy Advance SP magazine ad. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ocelot, somebody on chat say Ocelot. That's true. He's a cool dude. He's actually trying to be cool.
I don't know if he's very cool. Revolver Ocelot.
He has two revolvers that he shoots with it.
It sounds like somebody's grandpa, actually.
It's a cool fucking grandpa.
I think grandpas can be cool.
I don't know about Revolver Ocelot. Kratos against brooding, strong, silent type. Not feeling Kratos. Zero from Mega Man. He's so silent. I don't think Zero has that much attitude. He's got a little attitude. But he's kind of just like, some of these people are just, like, I gotta be honest, some of these people are cops, right? Some of these people are cops.
Yep.
Like, Zero's a cop. I like Zero, but he's kind of a cop. Leon Kennedy, literally a cop.
Yep.
Literally a cop. So it's like, it just can't be that cool.
Elite beat agents are strong, silent, good cops. They're the only good cops.
Yeah.
They're fun cops.
Yeah.
But in the positive fun cop way.
What about those two? What about those two bad dudes or whatever that game was? They had to save the president, get a burger.
Rad dudes or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Kenny Lynch.
Kunio
from
Kunio-kun.
Kunio-kun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he definitely has an attitude, and he's like he fights people. I think that helps him
It's
here.
incredible. He's a cool dude. He's got a ton of attitude.
Oh, John Vanquish from Vanquish.
John Vanquish, yeah.
that
What's his
guy.
No one knows his name, but he like
John Vanquish.
smokes. Doesn't he smoke?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that cool? What are you, Jan?
Well, I mean, it's like I don't know if that's cool. I don't know if any of these guys are fucking actually cool, Mike. I think that they're all trying to be cool dudes with Tude.
Sonic the
Jesus
Hedgehog's
Christ,
pretty.
you could give me all the money in the world. I would not have come up with Sam Gideon is
That
the main
his
character
name?
of Vanquish.
Sam
That's his
Gideon,
name.
yeah. What was the joke I made in your stream, Mike? That one time you were playing it, I can't remember the joke. I just remember knowing him being cool. Yeah.
Phantasm Zero is back and says, "Did I miss Conquer?" And I think we have to have the Conquer conversation.
Oh, he's a loser, right?
I mean,
in the game even.
Yes, yes, he is.
I don't
And
think he's got a lot of attitude. I don't think he's cool. And he's a parody.
Yes, I think he's too much of he's a vehicle for comedy. And it's and that delivery of that comedy is too earnest. Like it's trying to be a comedic game. It's not trying to be a snarky game where it's like, oh, you're having fun playing the game, and we happen to have a character that's just too cool for what's fucking happening. That's not Conquer at all, actually. So I don't think Conquer quite fits for this.
Well, you're not adding
John.
You're not adding Kunio-kun? I thought that was a pretty good one.
I'll add Kunio-kun.
You better,
Jesus.
please.
All right. Kunio-kun.
I think maybe we should start whittling this down, Jeff.
I agree. People keep throwing them out in chat. We did discuss Shadow the Hedgehog, for example, but keep throwing them out in chat. There's still time to add. Let's go ahead and lock our boy Sonic.
Yeah, he's kind of the George Washington.
Yes.
No, video game characters were never cool before that. It's true.
There was no cool video game characters before that, for sure. Lots of cops before that, but no cool dudes.
Lots of cops.
Okay. Where do you want to go from here? I think it'd be kind of funny had Cloud Strife on there, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's I mean, Duke Nukem is is a big one too. It's a little it's like the same era of Sonic, but a very different kind of branch of that, right?
Definitely. Yes, this is the human variant for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I do think Crash, while definitely like I think level in his time with Sonic, is too much or too similar to Sonic. And didn't have the longevity of being that cool dude in the same way that Sonic did. I mean, obviously his games are still coming out, but it's very different. So I don't think we need Sonic and Crash.
I don't think we need Crash. I never even really read that much coolness into him.
Sure.
Aside from the Pizza Hut commercials.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell you what, Falco Lombardi, I kind of think he should be up there.
I think we should keep him considered for sure. I like Falco. I like Falco, and I like Dante still a lot, specifically. Cloud Strife also, I think, has a good chance.
All right. I think of this list, yeah, I'm good with those, and then maybe... Oh, did I do? I didn't do... I did Beautiful Joe instead.
Yeah.
Let's see
Chad
here.
is right. Why are you talking about Funky Kong? Why is Funky Kong not in this list?
Does Funky Kong have Tude? I thought he was a nice guy.
He did join the military. And has fatigues in DK64, and that's not exactly.
Oh, yeah, he got really into guns.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
All right.
He's important, and I love him.
I've seen Chester Cheetah and Spawn in chat. I'm sorry, those are Gokus.
Yep, no Gokus. They originated on food products for humans.
That's true.
I bolded Rash from Battletoads. His glasses do a lot for me. All right. So that means, we have Mount Rushmore cool dudes. The ones we have bolded to consider: Sonic the Hedgehog, Duke Nukem, Dante, not Inferno related, Rash from Battletoads, Cloud Strife, and Falco Lombardi.
Which is a bit of a just Duke Nukem crossed with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Granted, he predates Duke Nukem 3D. I guess I don't know when the first 2D Duke Nukem was, but probably.
Yeah, but
probably even that was still.
That's
out there.
not what we're talking about for Duke Nukem. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Rash is very emblematic of them, and yet like on his own, I don't know if he stands up.
I agree. That's fair. I think he definitely fits into this category. He's just not Mount Rushmore worthy.
Yeah.
All right, so that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only got to cut one. Okay.
Like,
So we have
how about this?
3 humans in consideration: Duke Nukem, Dante, and Cloud.
Yeah.
I mean, we probably can cut one of the humans.
I think. Yeah, I think it's between Dante or Cloud, and I think I would actually go with Dante. I think Dante has
too.
more coolness and more attitude. Yes. Cloud's a more complex character than that, actually.
Yes, I think this is right. I would not put Cloud above Dante.
Yeah.
Actually, no
HK47 is a decent pool chat, but he's like so comic relief, right? He's also not really a dude, kind of a robot.
Yeah, and he's like 100% Tude. And
yeah, it's just
not even
Tude,
trying to be
like
cool.
That.
Yeah, oh yeah, it makes him a great character. Like this is these combination of features and characteristics are not necessary to make a cool character. It's just these guys. If you want to make a cool character, do something like HK47. That's great. All right, I mean, I think we might have it here, Mike. Sonic the Hedgehog, like Falco Lombardi, Duke Nukem, and Dante.
I like it.
I like it too. I'm gonna erase.
Sorry, Gex.
Yeah.
Inspire this list, but you're not making it.
Next time, buddy. Next time. All right, I'm going to.
Can you
post?
Can you change that to DMC instead of not?
Yeah.
I think you just put Dante. People know who you mean.
Yeah, I did. That's what I did. I just made it say Dante.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
Cool. Great.
I'm gonna post this. We are.
Do that. I have to pee.
Yeah,
we're out of here for a break. I gotta go.
We're gonna go to another break, everybody. We'll be right back after this. We'll clean up the super chats. I'm curious what Mike's been playing, although I know he hasn't had much time for that other than Sekiro. Although, let's get a Sekiro update. We'll do that right after this. All right, let me post this so people can yell at us.
I had to talk about the altars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, please. I'm
too
curious.
good of a game.
Oh my God, why is this thing on? All right, let's do that. And we'll share this. Oh my God, I just heard myself talking.
Oh, I remember now what I said about the Vanquish guy. I said like this guy either fucks a lot or he's an incel.
Or yes, or he's never had sex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
He's a cool ass motherfucker though.
How...
We're never gonna get another Vanquish, which makes me sad.
Chat, how much of the Quest 64 experience could I get in 2 hours? I mean, I expected this response. I expected all of chat to laugh at me. It is one of the things I may be considering for a charity stream later this month, and I think we only have 2 hours for that. 3%, lol, LMAO. Okay. All right, listen.
For the hard drive thing?
That's gimmick infringement, buddy. All right, John Carson apparently has ownership of Quest 64. You would sure experience it, but not much of it. I mean, maybe I could talk him into I play the first 2 hours, and we have to pass it on to whoever's next. And I curse the rest of the stream. How long to beat is 12 hours? Man, that's it? That can't be right. Really?
RPGs used to be short.
Man. Is that
That's
one of the
not
reasons?
Particularly good RPG
right,
either, so.
Do you think, like, I mean, I don't know, have you played it?
I've watched people play it.
Okay. So that would be a good way of knowing. Because I was going to say, is it one that got, like, really dinged for being a short RPG back then? It's like, oh, this is all the N64 can provide because it doesn't have CDs, and so I hate this game. But I think it might actually be shoot bad. So... I think
it's more middling.
Yeah,
like true it. Like 5 out of 10 material.
Right.
It's not like an awful game. It's just so boring, kind of.
Which is kind of the worst thing a game can be.
Right, because it's less interesting than being bad.
Yeah.
This person's playing Quest 64 right here on Twitch.
Oh shit. Just put it out on the stream. Let's watch it.
Yeah, let's just watch. Oh, that cape is flesh colored. All right, cool. Good for you, Brian, from Quest 64.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I am ready to bring the show back. I might drop the Google Sheet.
Hey, give me the mic when we get back.
Yep. I'll
I
give it all to you. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right, we're back. And before we do anything else, I'm giving the floor over to Turbo Sean.
Real quick, I have pulled up here from the Uncharted Wolves guessing
no.
game what you guys guessed Mind's Eye would get review score wise. And so I believe Mike went first with this pick. He predicted Mind's Eye would get an average Open Critic score of 81.
Please tell me I went like
And
79.
Jeffrey Grubb
Please be in the
went
70s.
with 80.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I'll
So
take
you
it.
did
Whatever.
undercut Mike, but
Oh, shit.
Bonus! No points for anybody.
No way. You give me those points. God damn.
Oh,
I
it
should
should be
get
a
2
mulligan
points.
because the let me see, the top critic average is 33 right now on Open Critic.
What were we
So
thinking?
I was within 50.
I can't say
remember
that.
talking about this. I remember talking about this like the day after whatever presentation that was on like Game S Mornings or whatever, and Jeff being like really optimistic. He's like, "Oh yeah, that looked really interesting, didn't it?" I was like, "What are you talking about?"
I just didn't. I was like, man, there's a chance here. Like, what? How
Want to
else?
believe?
Yeah, I'm like, they're spending all that money. There's got to be something there. And
It's the
boy,
bins,
lesson learned.
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's the bins.
It's the
Yeah.
bins.
Probably just forgot what that game was. in
Yeah.
my defense.
I think I remember being very relieved that you went first, and I think I said to myself, because I know I did it for one of the games during that competition for that week. No matter what he says, I'm going to go under. So I think I got lucky in that way because I'm just like, no matter what, I'm going to do that, and here we are. So all right.
You know, the funny thing is, I don't know for sure. And the fact that Mike said 81 makes me think, I don't know, but it makes me think that you said 80 and then he went over with 81. But
Oh, okay.
because why else would we pick
Why
81?
would I pick 81? No one picks 81.
Which is even funnier, but
What the hell? That's gross, and I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
I wish I would have had 79. Just being in the 70s would make me feel so much
It
better.
would feel so. I was so hopeful that I at least predicted a 75 or something.
Right.
What the hell was I thinking?
Here we are. All right. Thanks for that, Sean. How far away? Or is it the end of this month?
I think so. I would have to check with Will
I mean, it must be
because we do it quarterly. So
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, we started a little bit late this time, but yeah, it can't be much past July.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it. All right. Let's see here. I think we're going to do the super chats to close out the show. So first, Mike, what have you been playing?
It has been a lot of Sekiro, doing that on the stream and having a really, really good time with it. I am liking that game a ton. It has been super, super freaking fun. Just, I'm getting the parry stuff down pretty good and all these other mechanics. There's that one counter you can do with the lunging attacks where you just step on their weapon.
Best move in
right?
video games. Yep. Best feeling move in any video game ever made.
That stuff feels awesome. When they do the sweep, you can kind of jump on their head afterwards. So yeah, it's just in the level design, like there's a whole area where I was kind of outside this castle and I was sort of like going through the rooftops. I had to find my way inside there, and even then, it kind of just felt open. It's that open zone thing that Sonic and Sega thought they invented. I do actually like that kind of level design a lot. I think open zones are great. I mean, basically, that's what you could call, like the Mario 64 style thing, even back then, right? Yeah, I love that sort of thing. So, yeah, I'm like really deep into it now. I got a lot of systems unlocked. I just got to a point where it's kind of like, you did like one big progression thing. Here's a few other things, a few other kind of paths you have to go down to, breadcrumbs you need to follow, and I'm excited to go down all those paths.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game that just really does maintain its level throughout as well. I mean, of course, every boss fight's amazing for the most part. It's a FromSoft game, but you get to the end, and that last boss fight truly is something else. I remember it being very difficult when I did it. But I also felt like I had built up the skill because it's not one of those games where you're grinding. So, yeah, looking forward to continuing to watch. So you did Genichiro. Who else have you kind of fought?
I guess the latest thing I did really was that. I fought the bull, I fought that guy on the horse, and I fought Madame Butterfly.
Right.
So
okay.
those are the big bosses that I have done at this point.
Okay.
I don't know much about Sekiro, but I know there's some kind of big monkey at some point. I think,
or something. Right. Yes. You're probably just a slight ways off from that, but not too far. Boy, that's a great boss fight. That's one where like A lot of people had issues with that one. That's the one where I was having issues with some of the other ones that people were like blazing through. And the monkey's the one where I did in like 3 tries, and I felt really good about that. But that was the one in that entire game where I had that experience. I think I'd have to go back and look.
I'm not saying I wish they would make a Sekiro 2, although I wouldn't mind. But I do wish they'd make another really action-forward third-person game like this.
They will.
And, you know, I like Elden Ring a lot, right? For sure, and the Dark Souls stuff too. But yeah, a lot of one of these would definitely hit.
No, they will. They absolutely will. They'll get around to it. I think this is going to be in that like zone that they were like, hey, we are going to do our big ones, and then we'll do an Armored Core, and then we'll do our big one, and then we'll do another Sekiro. So I'm hopeful.
How about you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been a busy couple of days, especially with Jan out, but been figuring that stuff out, which has been nice, kind of piecing everything together over here, and long calls with lawyers and things like that. So not a ton of time. Kind of did like been checking in on Clair Obscur on the Steam Deck, and it's like, boy, it kind of looks pretty rough on there, although now it's playable for sure. Like I actually do feel like I could do the timing in the combat quite a bit better. So it's like I will try to play some of it on here, but if I'm like in the basement, I'm just going to stream it from my PC, and that's still the best way to do it. But that game still is fantastic, and I'm trying to build up some momentum so I can really get that game done before maybe Donkey Kong is here. So I can so I can feel like, all right, now I have the rest of the year in front of me. But yeah, it's quite good.
So keep thinking about it, right? Finished that game a bit ago. You know, my brother Chris, I always joke about the only like JRPG, turn-based RPG he ever really liked was freaking Eternal Sonata. He loved this game. He actually got 1,000 gamer score on it. He went and did everything. Wow. He was and AGB 2. I think it's like one of the first RPGs all 3 of us have beaten in a very long time. So all the Minottis are on board.
That's wild. Okay, yeah.
You should do like a spoiler cast or something.
Yeah,
I do want to do one at some point.
That'd be fun. Yeah, get your brothers on there for that one. Get Jan on there. We'll have him on Giant Bomb. That'd be great.
I think I don't know if Jan's beaten it yet.
I think he did actually.
I'll have to confer with him once he's back.
Okay.
From assignment.
But yeah, everyone knows it's a great game. Turns out it's still a great game. And then Switch 2 has been taken from me. Emmy has been playing on that thing nonstop. But when I do get a chance, I'm playing some more Mario Kart and trying to finish up 1,000 Year Door. That's the other thing that's kind of some RPGs right now. And for as much as not an RPG guy that I can be, I always want to like them. And it's nice to get in the groove with a couple of these things because a genre I've always admired from afar. I've talked about that before. Mm-hmm. And there's a couple that really do work for me. And these two, obviously having clearly the relationship there is they both have active combat elements. And Clair Obscur is maybe the sort of the top tier of that stuff ever. It's just there's always so much to think about and do and handle that I just fall in love with it. But even Paper Mario works in that same level.
I am curious. A lot of JRPGs, they are very, quote unquote anime. And these are 2 that aren't. Is that aspect of it help you? Because, it's not like you dislike anime necessarily.
I mean, maybe, like, it begins to feel a little bit like, this is just a big heap of anime RPG stuff subconsciously. And my brain's not, like, latching onto anything in particular. But I was interested in Lunar because I'm like, I love the idea of, like, Sega CD or whatever, Saturn or PlayStation FMV sequences of anime built into a game back then. That's just a really appealing idea to me. So I don't know if it's just that necessarily, but you're right. That is a common element. The ones I do enjoy have less of that anime, so I haven't really reflected on that too much to know for sure. But yeah, beyond that, still like my Switch 2 a lot and looking for more reasons to play it. Like I said, Puyo Puyo Tetris 2 S is a lot of fun. And if
I've been playing Splatoon 3. Great.
Are you playing FBC on Friday tomorrow with us?
But to ask, because I know that it's only a 3-player thing, right? So
yes, but
I don't mind being the one to sit out.
Dan's out tomorrow, so and I Backlar might be busy. But what I'm saying is, I'm not too hot on FPC. I'm not. So if we get bored, I know. I'm sorry. I apologize. But
ready to go.
If we get bored, let's play some Puyo Puyo Tetris and stuff like that on Switch.
Okay, that'd be fun. I do have that. So
okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. Those are the games I've been playing. Anything else from you, Mikey?
it seems like a lot of people aren't that high on FBC. Like, I'm a little surprised they missed with that.
It's it's like in the 60s on
I know
Metacritic.
you like it, John, Christian.
It's people like the weirdness still. I think like, oh, it's a weird game, but I think there's a lot of people who don't quite get it because Control sold fine, but it's not like it sold multiplayer boom like blockbuster success good, where everyone's just like, oh, clearly I want to go play a multiplayer game in that universe. So it probably has to like introduce itself to people a little bit. So yeah. And like Marino says, I love Control, but have no interest in FBC. There's going to be a lot of people like that as well. All right. Anything else, Mike?
No, I was just going to say rest of Super Chats if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, wait.
Oh, yeah. Christian, tell us about the altars. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you Chef will like this game because it's a survival, like build your own base maintenance thing, but it's also very heavy narrative. So I think you might like that vibes. And just to explain, because the story matters for the mechanics. You are this is from the people that made This War of Mine. So this game is pretty much that, but in 3D and in a sci-fi set. So you are an astronaut that falls into this planet and whatever, and the entire crew dies. Your entire crew. So what you had to do is use a weird resources. This is in this planet called Rapidium to clone yourself, because Rapidium can accelerate time. So you clone yourself in this ship. There's this quantum computer. They can like see your mind and your memories and make like different paths in your life and the decisions of your life. And that way you create that different personality of yourself with different like abilities. Sorry, I'm cook.
No, yeah, I've been trying to like figure out like how that works, like
yeah,
and it does sound interesting, but I still like feel like this is one where I'm really just going to need to play it to understand how that all interconnects with each each run or whatever.
Yeah, and your brain, like this quantum computer cooks like scans your memories, and you're a builder. Your main guy is a builder, and when you scan like the decision of your life, you can branch out, and that guy has a different life from like the decision you take. And that guy is like he's an engineer, or is I don't know, he's a miner, and that kind of deal. And on top of that, that thing makes it so they had different lives. So like they clash with each other, because like, oh, you took the decision in life, and that creates like a really nice narrative there. Like you
some
have to
conflict,
keep everybody happy. Yeah, conflict within the characters, and it's all wrapped around this like really nice, really cool survival thing, where it's like, it's not like, you know how in any other survival game you go to a tree and you have to like whack it, and you spend most of your time whacking trees. And this game is now like, no, you found like this mineral, this fucking metal, whatever. You sit there, and it's like immediately it advances time. Like it's like a fast forward, and it gives you all of it. So it's really nice. It has a really nice space to it.
People have been telling me that I would like it. People have been like hitting Jan, I think, because the character's name is Jan, spelled like Jan. So they're
Jan Dolsky.
Yeah. Also, how is the voice acting?
It's pretty good. It's just one guy.
Alex Jordan,
it's not just one guy.
I had Alex Jordan on the couch last year. I think I meant to get him on the couch this year, but I think I just lost track of it because he was promoting the altars. But yeah, he's fantastic. He was like Mr. Hand in Cyberpunk, I think, and cool. He was a nice guy. So shout out to him.
Yeah, it's really impressive for one guy, because you can get like up to like 7 altars or like 6 altars, and they all have like, it's the same voice, but all sound different because they had different life experiences, you know?
So it's like, are they implanted with these memories, you mean? Like, and the memories are different, and then they like walk into the room with fully formed memories and lives behind them?
Yes, fully formed memories. Yes, because this quantum computer like kind of simulates a different life, your different memories from your main life. Yeah, you take different decisions in the quantum computer. You see like this timeline, and it has nodes where you have big decisions in your life, and you can like choose. You either stay with your mom, or you leave your house, and or you stand up to your abusive dad, or you don't, and that like creates different alters, like different alter egos of yourself. Yeah, and like it's really, really good. It's really fun. The survival is not as like as I was saying, it's not like it doesn't feel like a chore. You had to you had to explore a little bit, and then it's really the maps are really small and they're really how do you say, like contained. They're not like big maps that you had to go away and like constantly being like, you spend a lot of time just hanging out with your guys and trying to like build relationships so they don't kill each other or like they don't do crazy shit in the ship so you can survive this very fucked up planet. And it's a really interesting game. I still haven't finished it, but the only thing I don't like, you can't do everything in one playthrough. The game tells you, hey, you might want to try to do anything, but like you can't do everything, so you have to play it again. I don't know how a lot of games are like that. Can you just let me do everything at once? Like it's just I'm not a replay guy.
I played Directive 8020 at SGF, and it had the thing of like, that's a game about choices, so they can take you back to those inflection points very easily, and so they're doing that. They're just letting you look at the choice tree and going to each of those points and be like, hey, do you want to try something different? Now that you've done one, you could just do the other one right now on this playthrough. And that was like something that made me think, oh, wow, this might be the one I really want to check out of these dark picture anthology, I think is what they're called, games. Because it's like, I like that idea a lot. Yeah, all right, well...
this game, this game has something like... Yeah, sorry, this game, last thing. This game has something like that, but it's just like, it tells you what you pick in your previous playthrough.
Right.
You had to still play the entire game and get to that point.
Right, so, yeah. It's like, so they could have done it maybe, but they're just like kind of being precious about it. And I think that Directive 8020, is it Supermassive? They were like, we're not going to be precious about that anymore. We don't care. All right, cool.
And rematch rules. If you like soccer, play that. Or if you like, rematch. If you like the Rocket League, play that game. It's fun.
We're gonna put together our rematch team. We're gonna do 5v5, so we're gonna have all 5 of us play on a rematch team. Yeah.
If you have a spot, I'm pretty nasty as a goalie.
Okay, yeah, I got good at the goalie. That's the one where I'm like, I fully understand this. Just like positioning and waiting for the ball to actually be kicked and not reacting too soon, and like kind of like doing it on a subconscious level. Rematch is cool. I did play some of that as well.
Had that rock paper scissors thing where like, is he going to go to the side? Is he going to try to lob it? It's going to go down. That kind of thing.
I guess for people that might not know, Rematch is the Rocket League with people game. So yes,
yeah, from the Sifu folks.
From Sifu folks with great animation. Yeah,
Rocket League.
Yeah.
Rocket Leaple. Holy shit.
All right. Oh my God, Mike.
Mike, let's do those super chats now.
Ejaculate says 3DO stream, please. Had that system back in the day and played the hell out of Space Hulk, Vengeance of the Blood Angels, PO'd, and Killing Time. I love Jeff, by the way. You just let me take all this heat for being, of course, some inherently spoiled, rich brat, jerk, asshole for having a 3DO as a kid. Not bringing up that your dear precious wife also had a 3DO.
Who kind of grew up a little bit poor, also had a 3DO. Yeah, so it's not like some indicator of great wealth. No. You're welcome.
What can I say? Except, I would definitely. I still need to play that definitive edition of PO, because PO was one of those games that I wanted for my 3DO and just never got. I think that and Blood, right?
You should also play, maybe so you don't get it, on a certain show we do, Cyberdillo. You should play Cyberdillo.
I should play Cyberdillo.
So you can understand what I'm talking about with that game.
Okay, I'll take a look at Cyberdillo.
All right.
Jason Vanelli says, where does Zero from Mega Man X fit on this Too Cool for School list? We talked about this, but he's kind of a cop, right? He's just, I don't know.
That's right.
I don't know if I ever thought Zero had that much attitude. Again, he's kind of a Cyclops sort of character.
Oh yeah, little Boy
honestly.
Scouty. Yeah, I mean,
Boy Scout.
Yeah, I mean, relatively speaking, not as much Tude.
X is more of a Boy Scout for sure, but it's not like, I don't think like Zero's some rebellious guy. I don't know. Phantom Zero, yes, brought up Serious Sam. Mike O'Leary brought up the Treble, Tattoo Mario. Phantom Zero asked about Conquer. We talked about these. Idkey says the Elite Beat agents use their powers to help a taxi driver evade the police to get a pregnant lady to the hospital. They ain't cops. They aren't cops. I don't think they have Tude. They're very nice people.
They're actually like superheroes in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, they're superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Superman doesn't have attitude.
No.
I don't even know if like Spider-Man has a lot of jokes. Calling that Tude, I guess.
No, that's snark. That's just pure snark.
That's
like
snark.
A lot of these cool dudes have snark, but like not just pure snark.
Simple Jack says, can y'all give me a refresher on Blinks the Cat? Was he cool? I think they wanted us to think he was cool.
Yeah, he had he wore goggles over his head like this.
Yeah.
Which reminds me of that Seth Green character from Can't Hardly Wait, who is the least cool character.
It always reminds me of the guy from Digimon, personally.
Right, and these are all kind of try-hard designs, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, Blinks definitely came out of the mascot factory at the time when that thing was just really pumping them out.
But they got the mixture wrong of cool and Tude and snark and design. They kind of mixed it up there a little bit.
Ricky B says Onimusha 2 when?
I do want to spend some time with Onimusha, but that's like on a list of like 50 other games I would love to like spend some real time with. So I don't know. As we get closer to that new Onimusha, this might be one where it's like, if I could force a way to make it happen on Giant Bomb during the day so I could play it during work hours, maybe I could justify it.
I hope that once I beat Sekiro and have withdrawals from it, then Onimusha, that reboot happens, and then I'll just be satiated immediately. Did
you ever play the original Tenchu?
I think I rented Tenchu once upon a time.
I loved Tenchu, and I think FromSoft worked on that. They worked on some Tenchu. Maybe it wasn't the first one, but yeah, that's a good game. That's one I always think of when I play Sekiro.
Ryan Allen says, Ancient Meme Alert, Power Thirst Rocket Edition with new flavors like Bananergy, Fizz Bitch, and Gone. You've had the worst, now have the thirst.
That is one of my favorite early memes. I love it. You got fucking energy legs. All right.
And there you go. That's all Super Chats. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Let's see here. Did I undo this? There we go. Mike Minotti, I think it's time to get out of here. Why don't you tell people where they could find you on the internet? I think you guys have a new episode of 90s Disney. Tell them about all that stuff.
Yeah, new 90s Disney is out. We talk about our favorite lines, our favorite cues. There's a lot of theming and stuff to do in just while you wait sometimes. So favorite lines and cues in Disney and Universal theme parks. We had a fun time. Talk about that. Now I'm getting ready. We're doing a Muppet Treasure Island episode at the start of the month. So I got to get working on that one there.
Yeah, that was actually the best part about being at Disneyland alone was just taking in the vibes of the queues. Like they were much easier to sort of relax when it's like, I'm not worried about, are my kids thirsty? Are they hot? Are they uncomfortable? Like that stuff I can't turn off my brain when I'm with other people. I don't want other people to be uncomfortable. So it's like I could just sort of vibe out and look at this Indiana Jones queue and really just love every single detail about it. It's good stuff. Game Mess Mornings tomorrow on Giant Bomb. We'll do a UPF. I feel like there was something else we were going to do tomorrow, but I can't remember. It's been a hell of a busy week. We do appreciate everyone supporting us here
Q&A?
as well. Q&A is happening next week for sure. I'm doing a Q&A this weekend. Let me see. Should I just? I think we'll do it Sunday morning. We'll do it Sunday morning. I'll do the Q&A for Game Mess. Looking forward to that. We'll do that in Discord. So again, if you're a Discord premium member, you should be able to hop into that. Ask some questions. And Columbro's next week. That's right. Try to watch that this weekend.
Oh, by the way, the community is running Mario Kart War Weekly, so it happens every Saturday.
Every Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's noon Eastern or somewhere around those times. So check the Discord on the events. It's all the details. That Mario Kart 8 had that really good tournament mode where it's like you just open it up and people could jump in. Is there an equivalent in World? I don't think there is. That's a shame. They had that tournament mode in Mario Kart or Mario Golf as well in that for 3DS, and they got rid of it for the Switch version.
Yeah, that was fun.
They should bring back stuff like that. All right, whatever. Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next time, have a good one. Take care of yourself, and goodbye.
Bye.
We are not terrorists.
Becker solution.
Till I see evidence that the world is round, I'm not believing a damn thing.
Is Dan a sissy baka?
Enjoy your gaming.